real quick. What's up, guys? Um, Obviously, it haven't been able to do a CassMac chat in a while because of 17 games in 17 days, which is a lot, but a lot to unpack. Hopefully, everybody's doing solid, and we're getting real close to having a breakout. We're playing a lot better. We still have those mind-numbing losses in there with the bullpen struggles. Obviously, Rafael Montero has gotten the brunt of the bad mouthing, but I think Aaron Bummer needs it as well. I know his numbers are pretty good statistically, but it just feels like working too hard, and every inning is really hard, and there's just no easy innings with Aaron Bummer, and lefties have kind of done some solid things, which is unfortunate. And I wish we would have tried Dylan Dodd as much as he's hey Charles, as much as he's improved, as it were, in the bullpen. Since he's transitioned, I would have liked to seen that, but it's okay. I mean, it happens. Obviously, Rafael Montero, Taylor Santos, and Aaron Bummer are the unfortunate pieces, somewhat. Iglesias is still struggling too, so I don't think the bullpen is definitely not settled. The starting rotation has been so much better than I anticipated. And I ate my words on Bryce Elder, and him getting sent down is obviously, it's just a numbers game and unfortunate, but he's definitely going to be back up. And the reality that we have a lot of good pitching depth. I'm just hoping that we maybe try a facelift with the bullpen, because it seems like the offense is coming. Obviously, with Ronald probably coming back next San Diego series, which is awesome, and I think they really want to see. Well, they just did him back-to-back days, and I really think that might be his final hurdle to for that is that, but I can't really tell you why, but I'm guessing that's why, because I think they're being really cautious that he could really help instead of make a liability even worse, I guess. So hey, what's up, Mason? So I think that's why I think they're being super cautious, that it's still gonna again, this is a sports thing. What's up, Joseph? Acuna will be probably back Friday, which is awesome. So, and I think the offense is starting to find a rhythm. This is a sports stream, so hopefully that is told. I don't know if I put that in the thing, but that's a good birthday present, even if we don't win, that Acuna is back in the fold. That's for sure. What's up, Michael? Easily probably Stuart Fairchild. Or, well, or Luke Williams maybe, because Stuart Fairchild does bring a lot of speed. But the bullpen of sorts is the one thing that obviously needs upgrades, and that's pretty simple to know, but I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work. But I think it'll all eventually work itself out. But I think Aaron Bummer and Rafael Montero do not need to be in higher leverage situations. But as obvious as that is, but I'm really liking Matt Olson trending. Drake Baldwin's still amazing. I think sooner rather than later, Charles was asking the same thing. I think they used Kimbrel in the back-to-back days recently, so that might be a indicator. Sorry, guys, I'm using my phone now because the computer internet keeps going in and out, so I'll just do this. If the lighting or whatever is annoying, just let me know. I'll work on that. But yeah, I think sooner rather than later, because I just don't think you can keep going to Montero and Bummer, even though, like I said, Bummer's numbers seem good, but every inning is hard work, and he's really not getting lefties out, and he's 2 miles an hour down on his fastball from last year. So I'm kind of hoping we see something like Hayden Harris or something. But that already happened, Charles. Bryce Elder came out of the rotation. Bryce Elder came out of the rotation for Spencer. Which I kind of wanted Grant Holmes in the bullpen because he gives you more of a Swiss Army knife, but he's also been really solid in the rotation as well. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have for sure. But, I mean, like I said, I ate my words on Bryce Elder because I thought he wasn't going to be able to find it again, but credit to him, the new grip, and everything else. I just think the Braves are really close to going on a massive run, and it's a really good thing, and I think there's a lot of really good problems to have. I think Eli White's probably sticks more in left when Ronald comes back, because he's just been so consistent and defensively and all that stuff. I really believe that. And then obviously AJ Smith-Shawver doing what he's done. Obviously it's against the lower maybe of competition of sorts, but you still don't take that away, because MLB teams, anyone can hit anybody on any given day. So yeah, I've been really impressed too, and he's taken it and run with it. And I just want a little bit more consistent of a bullpen, as everybody does. And obviously, Brian Snitker's bullpen management kind of gets everybody in a tizzy most of the time. But yeah, Alvarado, he said it was a weight loss thing, which, at this point, it's 2025. Own it. I mean, it is what it is. Profar did the same. It sucks. It's terrible. It's annoying. But you just got to own it. I mean, and obviously, I feel like everybody needs bullpen help, so that price is going to be insane. So if we could get a Kimbrel or a Hayden Harris or one of the younger prospects to come up and give us a shot in the arm and just be a little bit more stable when you want to give Iggy days off or have him have a mental reset or things of that nature. I think that would be great, but obviously it's harder than. Yeah, he admitted it more. Profar owned it more. I think Alvarado saying that said it's a weight loss drug. Come on, man. I mean, it is what it is, but that's a big blow for the Phillies, and I'm not crying about it, but it's a rough one. Drake Baldwin is amazing, aka Rake Baldwin for sure. And I love the fact that problem, or maybe not problem, but that idea of Drake Baldwin and Sean Murphy as the tandem, and I just think it's perfect, and I'm glad that we finally get to enjoy the fruits of the labor of developing yet another phenomenal catcher. And I think that I've been even surprised, even during his sorry. Unlucky stretch. Sorry, allergies on me. But even through his unlucky stretch, you saw amazing stuff, amazing approach at the plate. What he's doing behind the plate is even developed even farther than I anticipated. Yeah, so Drake Baldwin, fantastic. I think the reality that the starting pitching has been so good. I know they're going to have rough patches here and there, and they did to start the season of sorts, but the fact that it's kind of stabilized itself, and I mean, it might just, Iggy, yeah, I feel like it, but it might just be one of those tough years that nothing's going to go right, but as good as last year was, you would think so, but the reality is it's just pretty much execution or lack thereof, and it's the pitches aren't crisp. I mean, his slider is not sliding, it's sledding, so that's a little concerning. I mean, the idea is, goodness gracious, I hope he figures it out, but I think we don't have a lot of other options if he doesn't. I think the biggest loss for the Braves this season is not Max Fried. It's not all the other guys we lost. It's because Joseph, they want to make sure that he can play nine consecutive innings and play it back to back, I believe, is what that is. But that's why the bullpen is my biggest concern, and the annoying losses this week against the Nats and Boston didn't really help. But I mean, you just gotta figure it out somehow. Scott Blewett needs to be in more high leverage situations, and I believe that is, and I think the reality is everybody needs bullpen, so it'll be interesting how it plays out. That's why I hope Kimbrel and maybe some other guys pop off and give us no choice but to see if we can make that happen. And I think Joseph also, because you got Marcell Ozuna in the DH, so you just got to make sure that Acuna can play the field consistently enough, because you're not going to sit Ozuna just for Acuna to play DH either. So you just got to kind of iron that stuff out, I believe. Yep. Nationals. Yeah, Nationals, they've been pesky. They took advantage of the Orioles, so can't we got to go up there and do our job. And yeah, the Canes starting the conference finals, going to have the remote working big time. Should be exciting. And home ice advantage feels good, so we'll see. But you feel good about where things are trending, especially offensively, and the pieces that you're getting back, plus Strider, starting on Tuesday, and all that. Daysville's scary, but he's probably the primary option if Iggy continues to struggle. But Daysville also has control issues, where sometimes he doesn't know where the ball is going. So it's not exactly an easy answer. But yeah, that's probably the ultimate answer. Yeah, I mean, Montero, I get that Montero's getting a lot of the heat, and he should, but I think Bummer should be getting more of it. So both have not pitched well. Bummer's numbers say that he's pitched better, and maybe he has given up a lot of soft contact. What's up? They're not gonna go. Montero's likely gonna go, but Bummer's gonna stick around. Just maybe he'll be in different roles. Maybe, I don't know. But I agree. Okay. I think we're gonna win. We're definitely gonna win. Definitely one more. So. Well, if you don't think we're gonna win with Ronald coming back and Strider coming back, I don't know, but it'll be fun to see. Like I said, the bullpen could use a facelift, but I don't think that's exactly. I don't think that's exactly a surprise to anybody. A lot of times when you try to piecemeal a bullpen together, it doesn't exactly work. Well, let's see what happens before we say Ronald's gonna get hurt again. And he's not trying to get hurt. That's just the mark of sports. So I'm not trying to get into that. Just happy that he's on his way back now. So that's just my opinion, and I think the offense is starting to peak a little bit. Yeah, you gotta just take it for what it is. You gotta just take everything for what it is. Sports are hard. Injuries happen. So yeah, you just gotta watch it play out and hope. let down by. I mean, it's kind of just we just kind of had a rough start to the year and just a lot of bad luck recently, but there's been a lot of good too. So I think the idea is just to kind of keep it that way, and don't overthink it too much because baseball is hard. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if the Braves bullpen had Joe Jimenez, we wouldn't be having this many conversations. But since just have fun. Make sure you're having fun watching the Braves. If you want, I mean, that's all I have. If you're not having fun, it's okay, and just don't watch them if you don't if you need a break is what I'm saying, because we've had so many one-run games and crazy stuff that it can weigh on you. So um, just having the mindset of staying positive and just watching things go the way they go. You never know, but the way Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin, um, so yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta walk away and then come back when, like, I walked away after we gave up the Grand Slam yesterday and then came back. So you just gotta do what's best for you. Um, I, yeah, Matt Olson is amazing. I don't care what anyone else says. It's, yes, yeah, really good, Charles. Um, The Orioles, I think the Orioles are just bad. I don't know what's happened. I know they kind of closed their window when they didn't need to. I think there's a lot of fun though. The Mariners being good. Um, and yeah, Matt Olson is amazing and that's never gonna change. Yeah, I think we will start seeing Blewett more. I think the way it happened was we had to use him in those extra inning games. What was it? 4 out of 7 were extra inning games, and I think we were trying to give him rest, but it ended up um giving him too much, but it's just the way it played out. But again, the deck of cards in the bullpen isn't as deep or trustworthy. I don't think that the circle of trust is there um, for the people that should have more of a circle of trust versus the ones that do. But I agree. I hope we start using Blewett more. Um, and I'm starting to realize why we had uh, so many, um, or different options as lefties, because you can't run Dylan Lee into the ground. And not having an extra lefty option that you semi-trust, because Bummer I really don't right now, despite the numbers. So I think the bullpen is just going to be that thing this year that we're just going to, but hopefully we have a little bit more laughers and blowout wins instead of all the close games all the time. But also we are figuring out how to win those games. Um and our starting pitching has been so good that you're not um tiring out the bullpen so much. You need a little bit more consistency, and they've been pretty good at times. Obviously Washington and one at Boston notwithstanding, but for the most part they've done their job. But it just is what it is right now. So hopefully we'll get a shake-up in the cards, in the deck, in a positive. Charles, he's being nice. He's saying you're the real one. You're awesome. He's saying you're awesome, Charles. He's not being whatever you're talking about. But yeah, I think if we can get a little bit more consistency, and obviously Iggy being back to a little bit more consistent, would help that greatly. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, the bullpen is the one thing, and then obviously if you get Ozzie and Michael Harris going a little bit more, you're feeling a little bit better. But Ozzie's starting to put together better at bats, and so is Michael, adding the walk more to his arsenal. So that is nice to see. Nick Allen has been really consistent. Bye. See you, bud. Thanks for joining. And so I think there's a lot of really positive stuff to look towards, and you just gotta, as the cliche goes, take everything one at a time. And just be happy, like Ronald and Strider coming back. However it goes, just be happy that we get to watch them play baseball, and hopefully stack some easier wins together and keep winning the series. Charles, he was being nice. Like, he's not. So just, yeah. But yeah, that, I mean, it's we're in a really good spot. I mean, obviously there could have been some more wins there, but I think that it's really trending. So very happy about that. Hopefully there is not but yeah, let's see. The Pirates, I can't believe they didn't add more offense. And they're just wasting Paul Skeens, even though I want them to be able to keep Paul Skeens, but that is not going to happen. It's just sad, kind of, that they didn't even really try. So there's that. I thought the Reds would be a little bit better, but I think they're trending. They had a good series against the Guardians. The AL Central has probably been the biggest surprise of consistency, with the Cubs doing what they're doing. Not the Cubs, I'm sorry. The Detroit Tigers having the best record in baseball. The Royals, the Royals and the Twins just coming off a 13-game winning streak. Yes, they are going to get better. for sure for the Braves. Coming off a 12 game or 13 game. No, Charles, I think you just misinterpreted his slang, but it's okay. It's fine. And the Twins doing what they're doing, the Royals doing what they're doing, the Cardinals 15-6 at home and doing what they have done is nice to see as well. The Rockies, it's just sad, but they did beat the Diamondbacks the other day, 14-13. Yeah, first day off in 17 days. It's a thing for me too. That's why I was able to do this. Live. Oh, it's okay, Charles. You're fine. Just whatever. Yeah. So to catch up on all this is nice. So I think that everything is kind of trending in the right direction, and there's a lot of fun stuff. Aaron Judge is fantastic, which is insane to watch. Bellinger's fit nicely. Max Fried's been amazing for the Yankees. And yes, it sucks we don't have him, but we weren't going to pay $218 million anyway. So I don't think that should be a thing. I mean, it's unfortunate, but at least, yeah, it's weird that apparently the Mets are the worst defensive team in turning ground balls into outs, which is not what I expected. But no, I never saw Dale Murphy play. No, I did not. On the YouTube. Not live. Not on TV. I'm only 29, Charles. So. But yeah, if we can get the bullpen to stabilize, I think we have a really good chance. I know Dale Murphy was amazing. Really good chance to skyrocket through the standings and just kind of do what awesome, Joseph. So skyrocket, consistent, continue to stack series W's and stack series wins, and I think this has a chance to be a really exciting thing, and to be where we are. I remember we did a live, I think on your birthday, Charles, if I'm not mistaken. Doing 17 games in 17 days. That's where I've been hiding. I only do lives on off days or and with so many other sports on, I haven't had a chance to do live watches or anything yet. And frankly, the Braves have been super annoying and annoying with all these close nail biter games that you really don't want to see that live reaction. So I've kind of stayed away from that, but mainly 17 games in 17 days. Just trying to keep all the content pretty consistent, and things of that nature is why Strider pitches tomorrow. Yeah. So I guess I can ask you what you think about the Alvarado thing. We talked about it earlier, but you as a Phillies fan, what's your thoughts here? So yeah, to answer your question, I haven't been really hiding, just working. What's up, Hudson? Uh, yeah. Alvarado's one that I can never figure out in terms of, like, do I like him? Or obviously I don't like him because he usually carves up the Braves, but the amount of walks that he has always, yeah, pretty good week. Um, well, of course you're not, Charles. Yeah, pretty good week. A couple annoying, stupid losses, but I feel like the Braves this year aren't gonna do anything easy. So I think it's pretty consistent and I mean and our offense kind of showing up. Our offense kind of showing up in spades in Boston was nice. I know. Yeah, I mean, we really don't have a leg to stand on that. Um, it's unfortunate. It's stupid. It's annoying, and I'll just leave it at that for that. But yeah, a really good week of baseball that could have been a little bit better, but the bullpen is just a mystery that we haven't really figured out yet. Um, but because everybody's getting on Montero's case as they should, but I feel like Bummer isn't getting as much heat as he should. Um, oh, we should have swept Boston. That was another bullpen. Yeah, Max did 6 innings, 2 runs, couple of walks, and I think 5 Ks. I think. Yeah, we should have swept Boston. That was another bullpen meltdown. If I just wish our roles were more defined and a little bit more consistent. I think the biggest loss for the Braves this year is Joe Jimenez. Not anything else because Joe Jimenez um was awesome last year and it stabilized everything and now everything and for some reason Brian Snicker trusts Montero. I bet you Brian Snicker would trust Montero in a tornado, and he probably should not, and yet he does. So, I mean, Aaron Bummer and Montero are my least favorite pieces in the bullpen, and I think we should use Blewett a little bit more. No, 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 nope. Hudson, that's what I want to happen, but that's not what's happening. Bryce Elder got sent down for Strider's spot because they're not going to go a 6-man rotation. It was Tanner Scott, Joseph, and then it was Jeff Hoffman was the other, which that would have really helped. But it is what it is. So, yeah, I want Grant Holmes in the bullpen just because I think he would be a better Swiss Army knife. He has walked a little bit more and given up the home run ball. I can't talk that much. But I think that um, I think that Bryce Elder figuring it out is a nice piece, though, because now all of a sudden we have starting pitching depth. But again, the bullpen is still big a big concern, and I think it will be for a while unless Kimbrel comes up and is incredible, or at least stabilizes things and stabilizes the roles. But until Iggy kind of finds a balance, I think that it'll be a struggle. But I didn't think I was gonna say that we've had quality starting pitching depth. Yeah, I think I've said that a couple of times because you've asked where former Braves are, and I think Sean Newcomb came up. But he's still the same Sean Newcomb, that's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to fix the bullpen. I think it's gonna be external, but I think that's the last missing piece to have some more laugher wins. So I think, I mean, and Acuna coming back against San Diego, I believe, just to make sure he gets some more consistent playing time in the outfield and can do it and can feel fine with it. I think we're starting to meld. I think Eli White still gets more playing time than Verdugo probably. Yeah, I wish we didn't have to use extra innings as much, but um thank goodness. And thank goodness for Scott Blewett in terms of that. So that has been nice. Obviously, a little bit of luck, a lot of bit of luck goes into that, but I do have to give our guys credit. As annoying as things have been offensively and to start, and they've hung in there and they've won a lot of games we probably shouldn't have. So there's gonna be um, grimy, annoying games. That's just baseball. But when they directly happen and you're winning by 4 and it somehow slips away, it hurts extra. But it's how things go. I don't know why the Freddie Freeman Matt Olson thing is still a thing. Mark DeRosa needs to stop talking. I love Matt Olson. I love Freddie did what he wanted to do. Whatever. They're all having. Well, I would agree with you a little bit, but I would also. Yeah, Austin's been a little scratchy lately defensively, but yeah, I think he's been really good for the most part. So that is very important. The defense for the vast majority, like I didn't realize how smooth Nick Allen was, and how rough Allen has been very, very consistent, and I haven't liked a couple of his steals that he has had, but I do like the athletic element, and there's a little bit more there. And you're even gonna get more athleticism and different potential with Ronald Acuna Jr. back. I don't expect him to steal as much, but if you got that power element, it felt like um the good contagious hitting was starting to happen in Boston, and Matt Olson doing what Matt Olson has done so far. I'm been pleasantly surprised with Allen and everything he's brought to us. I don't even care what he does offensively. I really don't. Nothing. RC is just gonna be the cheerleader right now, and he's embraced that role nicely. So for now, RC is just gonna be the cheerleader. And I don't mind that, and I think he's embraced that role nicely. So I honestly think that you might see Luke Williams go down for. Yeah. I honestly think you might see Luke Williams go down because I think isn't Luke Williams is slower than Stuart Fairchild, correct? But Stuart Fairchild will probably get DFA because you have Eli White, Verdugo, Harris, Acuna. So yeah, probably. But I feel like there needs to be a right-handed. Yes, you can. I feel like we need a better right-handed bat off the bench because you're getting stuck lefties a lot. But I don't know how that is. Jeez. A lot of allergies. But yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that I like that, Joseph. Yeah, and Eli White. I don't think we've had the element of Eli White or Nick Allen in a while. I don't think that we've had the ability to, like, if we need a bunt or we need a bunt for a base hit or we need a steal or something, that element has been missing since, like, Omar Infante, that kind of thing, which I'm very happy with. And I think that it's such a much more versatile team than I expected, with Eli White taking as much of advantage as he has. And I don't know where it's come from, kind of, but I'm really excited that it has, because you also can play Eli White as second. I almost would debate bringing up third catchers so you can pinch hit Baldwin or Murphy in the bigger spots. But I know that's unlikely. But just Just a thought. But yeah, uh, that's just the fun part. And like I said, if we could just stabilize the bullpen a little bit, the De Los Santos, the Bummer, the Montero, if we could figure that out, I think we could really skyrocket this thing actually big time. And it feels really good. And yeah, we did. We thank you, Joseph. We did do that. So again, maybe we're pulling somebody else up, or we did sign Herget, not Jimmy Herget, another Herget from the New York Mets. We claimed them. I didn't do a video on it because I didn't know much about him, but he's at the AAA bullpen. I didn't check the numbers. I think you probably have Eli White a little bit more in right, but I think in left rather, but I think you can go either way. Probably depending on the matchups. But yeah, I don't know. The Jordan Weems and the Gary Cooper, I'm not exactly sure what that means. But maybe we're pulling some guys up and giving them a shot. Hopefully, I've been clamoring for Hayden Harris to get a shot. He's got some really good numbers down in the minors. And he's a lefty, and I think that could really help. I know that would probably be putting too much pressure on him, but just a thought. And then, like, the third catcher thing is just a thought, whether that actually happens or not. But I think the versatility and the more options has this roster definitely has more of that than we've seen in years, which is a nice thing. I just wish we had a lot more reliable bullpen depth than we do at the moment, but I'm sure that stuff will figure itself out too, because the bullpen did have a good chunk of time. It's like the offensive line. If you don't talk about it, it means it's going well. If you have to talk about it, it's not. So it's just one of those realities, and I think everybody knows it. Everybody in baseball could use better bullpen, but it's just how it goes. I don't think there's gonna necessarily be a limit on Strider. I think it depends on how the game's going, pitches, situations. I don't think there'll necessarily be a limit. They wouldn't bring him up if I don't think they would bring him up if they needed that. Just a thought, but I think it's totally game dependent. But honestly, but I mean, who knows? But I think we'll be fine. But the Nationals got a little pep in their step because they got to play the Orioles and sweep and all that stuff. They are definitely pesky, and they got some they got some guys, so we can't just. Yeah, hopefully it's not a trap series right before Ronald comes back to stunt the momentum, as it were. So. Did Tucker do? Okay, Tucker was okay. I thought Kyle Tucker might have injured himself on that, but he did not. Um, but yeah, I think the Braves are in one of the better spots we've been in a while. I know there's been a lot of annoying stuff, and what do I think about what? It's gonna be totally game dependent. I'll give you my pick to roll tomorrow. But probably 5 2/3 ish. That's probably on the high end though. For that. So yeah, I think that's pretty. That was a ball. But I think I pretty much covered everything. But trying to get an hour as I always do on these things. So we got about 3 more minutes left. I'll go 6 strikeouts for that. 6 strikeouts. Mm, um, his role. What'll that be? July 4th? I don't know. That's a really tough question that I'm glad I don't I'm glad I don't have to make the decision. I think that I don't know that if because Alex Verdugo has to stay up the entire year for that. I think that's his. There's a thing in his contract that's a thing. Um, but I think that it's a good problem to have. I think that. But I don't think you're not getting rid of Eli White because of all the dynamic stuff that he brings. His role. I don't think he's automatically gonna get it back. Honestly, I can't really tell you, but for some reason, I think everything works itself out for a reason. But I don't think he's gonna automatically get it back. Especially, I guess it's dependent on how everything's playing. But you're not gonna take Ronald out. You're not gonna, unless you want to give Ronald a day or something. And yeah, that's a weird question, and I'm glad I don't have to make that decision. Um, because everybody's like, yeah, you're mad, you're disappointed, but I don't think you're mad, you're disappointed, but it's not like he's not gonna be on our roster. Like, you can be mad at him all the time, but it is what it is. He made the mistake. It's terrible, it's stupid, it's annoying, but he's not gonna not be a Brave, I don't think. And you don't think we signed him to the contract and then just trade him? I mean, we went through all the crap with Ozuna, and you could have easily you could have easily um, I don't know. I do not know anything about that, but I wouldn't trust anything on Facebook too much, to be honest. Um, so I think Profar is going to be around, but to define his role is a little sketchy right now, and I think that's a good thing that it is sketchy, because you've got options, versatility, and no, he cannot play in the playoffs. That is a big thing. You cannot. You're ineligible for the playoffs. So I think that will definitely play factor, given that I think we're going to be chasing um yeah, that's gonna play big, but again, the depth, the versatility is more than we've seen it. So I think again that stuff will work itself out. And it's not like Profar can't be a valuable member, and everybody's gonna be angry about it on social. But players have come back. It's not great. It's ugly. It's weird. But um, again, I think Snicker is a perfect person to deal and figure all that stuff out. I'm glad I don't have to make it, but again, Eli White, Michael Harris has struggled a little bit, so maybe you put Eli White in center for a little bit if there's a tough lefty on the mound. I think that adds a versatility part to it as well, which isn't a bad thing. Uh, I'd probably say his walk off against Papelbon. I think that was his last homer of his career. You talking Profar? Yeah, I mean it's problematic, but I think you can use it in a productive way. Um, and I not it's not the first person to take peds and mess up and whatever, but again, I think it's a good problem. I don't know necessarily if it's a good problem now, but again, but I think the baseball gods kind of have a way of figuring that stuff out. So I think that's my simple non-answer answer. You know why we signed Profar. We needed to sign Profar. Jared Kelnick wasn't cutting it, and yeah, I agree. But if you need to give like Acuna a day or White a day or Verdugo a day. Everybody was so excited we signed Profar, so let's not even play that game. It just sucked. Jared Kelnick wasn't cutting it. We had to figure out a plan, and now the guys have taken advantage of they've taken advantage of it. They just have. So no, I don't think we're gonna do that. I really don't think we're gonna take. I think he's just gonna. He better embrace whatever role we give him. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, I agree. I was talking about Charles saying why did we even sign Profar? We all know why we did. It's just an extra. You know, I think given the I think we all kind of mean it in a bad way, even if you didn't mean it that way. It's because it's created an unnecessary problem. So that's what I mean. But yeah, I think Brian Sticker and company understand. And if he doesn't embrace the role, then maybe we will trade him. Yeah, it definitely is. And I think we're kind of the perfect organization for it because all we care about is winning winning games and how we win them and the culture of it. But it does create a interesting, annoying problem that is very enticing and I just hope he embraces whatever role happens for sure. So I mean, he's not the first player to make us like Alvarado made it dumb too. His is different because he was the closer for the Phillies, so that's a little extra gross. But Profar was the starting left fielder, so I guess it's the same thing. So I mean, you learn from the problem, but I think Eli White has stamped his ability to stick around and stay the everything that he can bring to the table. So he better Profar better Orlando Arcia and embrace whatever role it is because so and I think he will. So that's what I'm banking on and um maybe if it doesn't, maybe we trade Kelnick or Profar for some bullpen help. I don't know how much you're gonna get. Um, yeah, hopefully that's the case, Charles. But I mean, you never know. But I think it's got. I keep saying it, but I think it'll work itself out. It's just a different mentality for sure. But hopefully we just keep stacking series wins and stacking the W's watching Ronald and Strider play baseball again will be a fun thing. Thank you. But So I think we're trending as best as we can be trending. Just got to figure out the bumps in the bullpen, and I think we will. Yeah. No, I don't think Kelnick's a bust. I think that the expectations for Kelnick were too high. Um, I do agree, Sean. I think we have the ability to catch, and I mean we haven't played the Mets yet, so there's a lot of head-to-head stuff going on. So I wouldn't call Kelnick a bust yet, but we'll see how that manufactures. I think his role was too hefty, in my opinion, and expectations were probably a little too high. But I definitely like where the Braves are trending, so we'll take it as that. Man, Hudson, that profile question definitely was. I didn't even really think about it, but he does come back in July 4th, and that's a lot of baseball to kind of figure out. But but it'll be interesting to track and see, and so I think that is all I have. Pretty much steak and baked potato is the dinner for tonight. And I am really just, I mean, everything that, all of the bad stuff that started the season, and just how everything's trending, Bryce Elder being better, like the AJ Smith-Shawver coming up and being amazing, Grant Holmes doing what Grant Holmes has done, Chris Sale finding it again, Drake Baldwin being amazing, Sean Murphy being amazing, and seeing again, and Matt Olson starting to look like Matt Olson at the plate again, and things like that. That's all. That's all you can ask for. Taking it one game at a time. Hopefully, we can get multiple games over 500, so we can just forget about it and soar. Although I do like the possibility of Grant Holmes in the bullpen a little bit more, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, but there's a lot of good things, and again, bullpen notwithstanding, and figuring out those roles. But after that, I think we have a chance to make this thing soar in the right direction. But as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. And yes, I love watching Matt play defense. Our defense has been sparkling for the most part this year, and it's been awesome.